Hello, you've caught me doing chores for the incompetent.
Or, as we call them in video games, side quests. You know the ones. You rock up in a town in an RPG and your minimap lights up like a Christmas tree. Every blinking icon beckons you towards a hapless NPC who thinks their domestic problem is more important than vanquishing whatever Dark Lord or interdimensional rift is troubling all existence as we know it. Oh, don't worry about the burning red meteor currently scarring the heavens. Of course I'll find your slippers.
What you don't know is that I actually have side quests I'm trying to complete while doing these Friday features. You just don't see them because I have the HUD switched off. But if you turn it on, there they are. Reference Dr. Pepper. Insult a badger puppet. Correctly deploy the phrase, like herding cats. Don't see myself completing that one today.
Not that I ever get a chance to complete any of my side quests. No, I'm too busy finishing everyone else's side quests. And the more I tick off, the more I realise how many of these things are wheeled out again and again. In the same way, there are only meant to be 7 basic plots to all stories. There are only really a handful of side quest templates. Chores and jobs that have become as clockwork as Dr. Pepper references in these videos.
Oh, and that's one of my quests complete. Anyway, here are 7 side quests that are in every RPG by law.
I like my adventures to start with a bang. RPGs like their adventures to start with a squeak, followed by a bang, as a local tavern owner employs you to descend into their cellar and clear out a rat infestation.
I got rats in the basement. Big uns.
You get to warm up your rat-stabbing arm. The innkeeper avoids being raided by the Food Standards Agency. Everyone's a winner. Well, apart from Remy and friends.
It's not the flashiest of starts, is it? You know, you want the game to put its best foot forward, whereas the game wants to put its best foot up and down on a rat's face. But I do get it.
You've just been dropped into a world of baffling rules. All your brain can handle at that moment is rat bad, go kill rat. So designers give us something small and manageable to quietly stress test our fresh character build, to work out if we actually understood Baldur's Gate 1's baffling Thaco system.
I certainly didn't.
Or whether we assigned our Icewind Dale ability scores in such a way that you can take a swing at beetles without chopping your own head off in the process. Some designers try to disguise the mundane nature of rat splatting with a fun twist. Maybe you're given a magic rat exploding stick. Or sent to fight rats with your own rodent magic, which I'd argue is technically introducing more rats to the cellar and a total misunderstanding of the assignment.
I actually partake in a pest hunt before I record these weekly lists. Okay, it's not a rat, but it is small and furry, and it lets me test the stats of my lucky badger hammer. Oh, and that's a badger puppet insulted, isn't it? Another side quest completed. Get in!
Side Quest 2, the misplaced object of incredible personal significance. The oldest one in the book. Not that I can verify that, as I lost the book and I'm too lazy to go and look for it. You, sir, with the sword, might I trouble you to go and collect my book? I think I left it in that forest with all the goblins.
Fetch quests are the foundations on which all RPGs are built. You know, if you take them out of Dragon Age Inquisition, for example, that game's only 8 minutes long. Don't look that up.
But there's something especially egregious about the missing item quest. Collecting materials for weapons or herbs for balms can be justified as part of the ongoing war effort. A gangster with a missing moggy or an old crone who lost her lucky frying pan is not going to turn the tide of battle.
Though, with a big enough frying pan...
It also teaches all the wrong lessons. Relying on heroes to correct your errors means you never learn or improve as a person. Fetch this old geezer's diary in Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, and he repays you by losing it again, and again, and then again, and again. Yes, and again. And then one more time for luck. I do not have time for this nonsense.
What's he even writing in this thing? Dear Diary, Today I distracted a hero with so many fetch quests that he was unable to stop the White Witch, and we are now all dead. This is a ghost writing this diary entry. Woo, etc.
If NPCs aren't giving you thankless chores, they're punching you in the face, as demonstrated by side quest number 3, the fighting tournament.
Down to biz, huh? Ain't the only way you're going down.
Because it's not enough for you to clear out caves and dungeons of monsters and bandits, the man on the street won't believe you're hard enough until he's stepped into the ring and taken a pop.
The joke's on them, of course. Compared to fighting a Thunderjaw or a Sephiroth, it's actually quite nice to give a total nobody a pasting, and in front of an adoring crowd to boot.
The simpler version of this is the one-on-one tournament where you're stripped down to your fists and invited to turn another dude's face into dog food. But rather than feeling naked without my ultimate weapons, I find these scraps liberating. It's often a much easier version of the combat system, and as long as you can parry and counterattack, you'll climb the ranks faster than a YouTuber pretending to be a boxer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm calling those fakers out. And if they've got a problem with it, then they can meet me down by the bins outside Tesco's for an appointment with the boys.
I'm less confident about the Colosseum variety, the one that plonks you in an arena with your full moveset and forces you to endure a series of grueling what-if scenarios. What if it was legal for a man to fight a pack of dogs? What if a load of guys with flamethrowers turned up? What if you had to fight a 3-bedroom family house?
I know Hell House isn't a side quest, but I'm still recovering from the absolute drubbing it gave me on hard mode.
To me, arena fights are a little too close to the day job. If I'm going to be working my butt off to fight a deranged samurai, I'd rather it was a deranged samurai on the critical path. And you can absolutely forget adding a fruit machine that makes each round harder. The second I turn into a frog, I'm out. Next, we swap bone snapping for phone papping. Yes, it's the obligatory photography side quest. What would take me a 5-second Google image search becomes a cross-country hike to take pictures of rock formations, cute animals, or 19th century Japanese architecture.
To be fair to that last one, Google image search won't be invented for another 120 years, so they've got an excuse.
The photography quest is actually a more recent addition to the pantheon of distractions, given that the creators of the earliest RPGs didn't have photorealistic 3D worlds for us to point our in-game mobile phones at. They didn't have mobile phones full stop, or the selfies or Instagram culture that inspires so many modern quest designers.
Do you seriously think that Square Enix would have been able to release Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy IX over the course of 4 years if the team had cat pictures to distract them? This one looks like Dave.
No, this is a 21st century quest for 21st century sensibilities. It's just showing off, really. Ooh, look how detailed all our props are in these Hawaiian shop windows. Click. Oh, think how many hours went into carving these landscapes from virtual clay. Click. Oh, look how lovely all these boys look with their spiky hair. Click, click, click.
I've now got more photos of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth than I do of my own family, which can cause some issues.
Who's this sailor, Robert? Where are your family?
It's Barrett from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
For the last time, these people aren't real.
Quest number 5. You arrive in town and are forcibly enlisted into a game of hide and seek with a gang of lovable urchins.
Come play hide and seek with us. You're it.
What's stopping you from riding off and leaving these kids hiding in a bin forever? A lust for XP masquerading as moral decency. I understand why designers like hide-and-seek quests. It helps familiarise you with a new location, and presumably children are easier to render because they've got half the digital flesh of an adult. But does this really feel like a good use of a hero's time?
This is normally the part where I say something pithy from the sofa, but Alex, who holds the cue cards with all my lines on them, thought it would be funny to go and hide himself. But I really hate hide-and-seek side quests, so I'm not going to go and look for him. Which is a shame.
Some quest types are inevitable in RPGs because there just aren't many building blocks available to the designer. If they've built a village and they've built a load of monsters for you to fight out on the world map, then it's likely that those two things will eventually meet and you'll have a village with a monster problem. Kill the monster, job done.
You get XP, you get a smattering of loot, and you probably meet some NPCs offering you side quests from entries 1 to 5.
But after a while, that routine got boring for quest designers, which led to the creation of side quest number 6, what I like to call the ScoobyDoo quest. There's a dreadful monster terrorising the locals, but when you go to have the expected fight, you discover it was just some old weirdo in a papier-mâché bull costume.
Leandros?
I told you nothing is what it seems in Pevka.
And he would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for that meddling eagle bearer.
Thus, the ScoobyDoo quest. Sorry, were you expecting an entry about a talking dog?
The fake monster reveal is a killer twist the first time it happens, but is now as familiar as a pair of old slippers. There's a ghostly ox cart phantoming away locals in Dragon's Dogma 2. He would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for the meddling Arisen. You discover a Skyrim inn haunted by a phantom. He would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling Dovahkiin. My refrigerated chocolate supply is being eaten by a tiny office ghost.
He would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for meddling me. Seriously, you owe me a Kit Kat.
At this point in the list, we've killed real monsters, fake monsters, small furry monsters, and monsters guarding lost diaries. Now it's the turn of monsters bothering people as they go from A to B. The Escort quest. Yes, I'm afraid so. Time to guide an incredibly fragile person with zero survival instincts as every man and his dog try to nibble on their health bar.
One of us has been doused in slime.
Unless it's a dog you're escorting, in which case it's just every man.
I honestly think escort missions were built in a lab by evil scientists with the sole purpose of trying to make us all as stressed as possible.
Keeping myself alive in the games is hard enough. Now I have 2 health bars to worry about. And one of those health bars can lose it at any moment and leg it into the path of the nearest ogre. I become obsessed with checking the map to see how far we have to go, my brain filling in that distance with imagined encounters and trying to calculate if the current rate of health depletion is going to carry us that far, like that confused maths lady meme. And if a developer is feeling especially cruel, they'll make you do the whole quest while listening to a song that goes bow wow wow, bow wow wow. As a dad, it often feels like my whole life is an escort quest. I have to keep this tiny, delicate being away from danger. So no, I do not want to spend my downtime protecting pop stars from zombies, guiding peasants through dragon territory, or trying to lead a litter of kittens through the bug-filled forests of Nibelheim. Have you ever tried getting kittens to behave? It's like herding cats.
And would you believe it? That is all of my side quests completed for the week. I don't think I've ever actually done that before. What do I get? 1 party popper. I guess I shouldn't have spent all the budget on my lucky badger hammer.
And those are 7 side quests that are in every RPG. I've got some side quests for you. You need to go to the comments and write examples of quests you've played a million times before. Then you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Do all of that, and I'll give you 5 XP. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next Friday at 4. Bye for now.
What do I get?
Oh, that one's broken.
What do I get? What do I get?
That was a good one.
Yeah, we're not going to beat that, are we?
We're not going to beat that.
No.
I don't think we need to.
PlayStation